1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as bright as Let's Shine. Let's Shine is a brand new 6-level English course for young learners, from Pre-A1 to A2 CEFR, published by Education Publishing. Let's Shine strengthens English proficiency and prepares students for international exams, including Cambridge Young Learners and Language Cert. With Let's Shine, students can learn English through stories about Nick and his family, as well as friends and teachers. Each level of Let's Shine provides 8 units which are carefully selected, interesting, relevant to young learners' life and interests, to help students implicitly foster values like kindness, respect, honesty, teamwork, care for nature, etc. Each unit has 5 lessons, following the 3P structure: presentation, practice, and production, which is very user-friendly. Each phase of the lesson is meticulously organized and ensure that it is easy to teach, easy to learn. Let's Shine ignites learning in the presentation phase. Each lesson begins with vibrant visuals, clear audio recordings of key vocabulary related to the unit's topic,
helmet, sweater, scarf,
and grammatical structures through contextual examples.
My sweater is too old. I need a new one.
This multisensory approach, look, listen, point, and say, lets students grasp new vocabulary or grammar points quickly, easily, and effectively. Practice isn't just repetition, it's active engagement. Offering a diverse range of exercises in each lesson integrates all 4 key skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. These activities naturally lead students to reinforce learning and build confidence in a fun and dynamic way. Now it's time to shine. In the production phase, students use English creatively in real-life scenarios, engaging speaking, writing, and even reading tasks linked to their own world. This stage fosters fluency, boosts their confidence in expressing ideas in English, and enhances their overall ability to use English effectively in real-world contexts. Let's Shine includes a dedicated review lesson after every 2 units, offering valuable extra practice with vocabulary and grammar. Moreover, to build their confidence for international exams, Let's Shine features tasks carefully designed to closely mirror the activities they will encounter in Cambridge Young Learners and Language Cert ESOL Young Learners. The content of each lesson in the student book is reflected in the corresponding exercises of the workbook, ensuring a very user-friendly experience. For added support, each level of Let's Shine offers a comprehensive word list and a readily accessible grammar bank for easy reference and review. But that's not all. Students and teachers also benefit from a range of additional resources. For students, each level includes a vibrant student's book and accompanying workbook for reinforcement. To enhance their learning journey, they also have access to the interactive e-Students book and e-workbook, engaging audio recordings for listening practice, and the fun digital home activities app to extend learning beyond the classroom. For teachers, in each level, it includes a comprehensive teacher's book with detailed lesson plans and teaching tips, engaging flashcards for dynamic vocabulary presentation, dedicated tests, booklets for assessment, and a convenient e-teacher's book for on-the-go access. To further streamline lesson preparation, teachers benefit from the Digital Classroom Resources software, ready-to-use PowerPoint lesson plans, and valuable extra worksheets for additional practice. All resources are at the digital education ecosystem EduHome. Let's explore more today at eduhome.io. Let's shine. Let's brighten the future.
Warm greetings to all of you here today on the online webinars. My name is Chris Lay, and it's very honored to see everybody again in today's webinar. And I'm very happy to be the moderator for today's online workshop. Okay, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, in today's increasingly global world, the international English qualifications for children are becoming more valuable for both schools and family. But how can we help young learners acquire knowledge, the language, naturally, and prepare them for exam without sacrificing any joys and engagement. That is the reason why we are here to discover how can we align, how exam-aligned teaching can be effective, enjoyable, and learn-centered right from the start. As we begin our webinar today, allow me to introduce our participants. Please join me to welcome all of the teacher and educator from Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, Albania, Algeria, Japan, Romania, the Philippines, the United Kingdom, and the United States, Vietnam, and other countries. From DTP Education Solution Laos, please welcome Ms. Suphapon Phongsavan, the Managing Director. From DTP Education Solution Cambodia, Dr. Tanya Maxine Hodge, the Academic Director. Mr. Phang Văn Ryu, the Total Solution Director, DTP Education Solution Vietnam. And last one, and the only Mr. Frank Sistrang, the Training Manager at DTP Education Solution, our trainer for today. As we begin our webinar today, so I'd like to invite Dr. Tansy Maxine Hodges, Academic Director of the TP Education Solution in Cambodia, to share a few words of the opening speech.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to our main host today. So I would take this opportunity, firstly, to welcome everyone to the webinar, especially in terms of teaching English to the young learners using exam-aligned materials by Mr. Francis Ran and Mr. Lee. Not forgetting I will be representing Dr. Puti Choi today to represent DTP Education Solutions Cambodia. So everyone, my name is Dr. Tanya Maxine Hodges. I'm an academic director at DTP Education. So brief introduction on my profile. So I'm an academic researcher on the Cambridge and Oxford academic panel since 2022. MBA teaching diploma, Doctor of Honoris Causa in Humanity. I've got certification since Team ESD from Finland, Autism Care, ACLS, Child Psychology, and not forgetting Child Protection as well. Currently, I am serving as an academic director at DTP Education Solutions Cambodia. I've also had the opportunity to be the winner of the European Medical Travel Research Grant, Medicine of 5 Continents. So moving on, this is Dr. Choi Puti. He holds a PhD in Educational Management and he's our company director. A brief look at Dr. Puti's profile. So he has a bachelor's in education from RUPP, Royal University of Phnom Penh, IFL, 2003. And fast forward, he currently holds a PhD in Educational Management since January 2025, the Thames International University, Paris, France. Now, let's have a look at DTP Education Group overview. As we all know, it's very prominent in the Asian market. So established in 2003, we are leading education solutions provider in the Southeast Asian regions, with offices in Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. Mainly distributing partner in Myanmar and EdPub, Education Solutions and Publishing. Let's look at our vision. So our vision is to become the premier provider of educational resources and solutions, mainly at enhancing English education in Cambodia. In terms of our mission, we are committed to continuously conduct research, development, and distribution of high quality and innovative products and services that enhance the effectiveness of English teaching and learning. So for instance, we also include child education, child psychology, to actually tie up and help the better usage of learning and teaching and learning outcomes. Our mission is to support educators and learners alike by providing cutting-edge resources that foster engagement, understanding, and skill mastery. So with over 20 years in education, we have been empowering education, serving over 10,000 educational institutions and 5 million users, from kindergartens to tertiary levels. Let's look. What have we achieved over 20 years in education? So over 700 employees specializing in publishing, training, IT, testing, and book distribution. Let's look at our key core competence. So what we have worked here is to develop and retain the best team in ELT, publishing, and distributing in Southeast Asia. We aim to be knowledgeable, capable, experienced, skillful, creative, and committed. Here's the excellent operation system by effectively displaying the SAP, the CRM, CS, and portal, as well as real-time report dashboard. And not forgetting, we also aim to maintain our partnerships, in this instance with Cambridge Assessment International Education, with one of our top publishers, which is Elston Publishing House. We have been recognized as one of the providers for accredited teaching materials. Now here is some of our academic supports, so you can see some of our STEM and ESD, as well as teaching and learning, mainly by our team in DTP. And in the picture is Mrs. Seng Kun Lok, a very, very senior and seasoned educator who is very much able to diversify teaching and learning, as well as to support, provide support in English and Khmer. Now, here we have the interactive whiteboard, one of our products. And we have the 55, 65, 75, and 86 inch, which is also known as the Vestal series. Now, let's look at the educational partners. We have over 20 educational partners that we collaborate with. And in terms of our success story, we have a capable internal team, we have convenient communication, instant supports and services. There's also consistency, effective networking, building trust, relationship, and friendship. If you have any questions or you'd like to know more, please don't forget to actually head over to our Telegram channel. And also there's the Facebook QR code. And before I say goodbye, I would also like to actually take this opportunity to also share with you at DTP, we are working on educational research, as well as how to develop ideal teaching and learning strategies to meet the learner differentiation and different learning styles. Okay, I believe that's all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tanya Maxine Hodges, for your opening remarks. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please be reminded that the electronic certificate will be sent to you after the webinar today. So by the end of the webinar today, there will be like a QA session. So if you have any question for our trainer today, please wait until the end of the presentation so that you can have the question for our trainer today, and our trainer will address them one by one. And for safety reason, we will kindly mute your microphone, and thank you for your understanding. Okay, everybody, let's talk a little bit about our famous and the trainer for today. We're now coming to the most anticipated part of today's event. Allow me to introduce Mr. Francis Chung. He will be our main speaker for today. Mr. Francis is an experienced English educator. He has over 20 years experience teaching learners from all ages and level. He holds a BA. He holds a BA in teaching English from Irvine University, California, and he has contributed significantly to the development of classroom materials. He currently leads the training division at Education Solution Vietnam and is networked across Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Mr. Francis Chung a warm round of applause for welcoming him. Francis, this is your stage.
Thank you very much, Chris, for your introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being here in the webinar today. It's my honor to meet all of you, and this is also the great chance for me to meet all of you from different parts of the world, from Cambodia, Thailand, and some other countries as well. So let me go straight to my presentation today. Now, if you see the slide that I am sharing and you can hear me well, please type number 1 in the chat box. Thank you. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. So my main topic gonna be teaching English to young learners using exam-alike materials. So that will be the topic. And in this topic, I will share with you the curriculum or the material that we design so that we can prepare the student not only for general English but also for exam. So I will go into the agenda details later on. Now, before we begin, I would invite you to do this little warmer with me to check if the signals and everything goes well in this webinar. The icebreakers is quite simple. I'm gonna say a word or a sentence. All you have to do is you will listen and count how many syllables are there, and you will type the number in the chat box. Now, for example, if I say hello, and you will type number 2 in the chat box. The rules is quite simple, right? Now, if you are ready, you type letter R in the chat box, and then we will begin with the icebreaker. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, very nice. Now, we begin. Good morning. That's good. Good morning, teachers. Very good. Yeah, I received the instant feedback. Well, 56. Good morning, teachers and educators. Wow, you're so good. Some of you count correctly 10. Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for your time here today. Okay.
1,000.
No. Thank you, thank you. So sounds like the signal and everything's go well. Yeah, you can receive I received the response instantly. Now, let me go straight to the agenda of what we are going to discuss today. The first thing on the agenda will be exam coverage and curriculum alignment. The second thing on the agenda we'll discuss about language development and exam preparations. And finally, I will share with you some practical teachings and demonstrations. So that will be 3 main things on the agenda today. So please stay with me until the end. Now we move to the first one, exam coverage and curriculum alignment. So for the very first things on the agenda, please kindly answer this question for me. What do students need to do to be ready for the exam? What do the students need to do so that they can be ready for the exam? And you will write your answer in the chat box, no more than 6 words. So the maximums will be 6 words. You have 2 minutes to type your answer. Yeah, I have the very first question, answer, knowledge and skills. Understand the exam format, right? So skill, knowledge, no more than vocabulary, knowledge. The maximums will be 6 words.
Good mood.
You have 2 minutes. Yeah,
Relax. That's right.
Test format, skills, answer, knowledge and skills. Readiness, understand exam format, knowledge, no more than vocabulary, knowledge, comprehension, knowledge. Good. Preparation, vocabulary, test format, skills, answer, knowledge and skills. Hand, readiness, understand exam format, review paper, vocabulary, knowledge, knowing who I am, knowledge. Good. Preparation, know how the vocabulary, skills, knowledge, exam format, exam techniques. Readiness, review paper, you can't knowing who I am. Thank you, thank you. So I will share a lot of common things, right? Most of you mentioned that the student will need the skills, the knowledge, exam format. So we share a lot of common things. Now let me share with you. For my point of view, what we students need so that they can be ready for the exam. So we will need two things. Number one, general English. It's including vocabulary, structure, listening, speaking, reading, writing skills. Of course, that they will need that. And the second thing, they also need number one, the test format, exam structure, what will be expected in the exam. So if you have those two things, and they are ready for exam. Now on the right side of the screen, you will see here are the list of things the student need to have. So please mark the activities, the skill with number one or number two right here. For example, if I have listening, so I will mark with number one. So what you will do right now, you will type number one, listening. Number one, speaking, for example. So you look at the list right here and which match with number one, which match with number two, you will type that in the chat box for me, please. So Chris is going to make an example for us.
Okay, so like we have some words on the right-hand side, and then on the left-hand side we have the curriculum mapping, either in number one, the general English, or the test preparation. Now we're going to try and match the skill with the associate curriculum mapping. Okay, general English, like for example, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and vocabulary. Test preparation, like strategy, test format. So this is an example of how we do this activity. So please go ahead and match the words with the curriculum mapping on your left-hand side.
Thank you, Chris, for your explanation. So I'll give you 1 minute for you to do the mapping. Yeah, time management is number two, test preparation. Yeah, I have from answer from Mr. Hang that one was listening, speaking, reading, vocabulary, fluency, pronunciation, coherent. Strategies, I think, is for number two, right? Question type, good. Test format is number two, right? Well, thank you very much for your participation. I see a lot of you are participating in my presentation. So hope we can keep this rolling until the end of the workshop. Time management is test preparation, that's right. Thank you, Mr. Nguyễn Khắc Chí. He's also one of the well-known trainer and e-zone trainers as well. Test format, task response, time management, coherent. Yeah, that's number two. Right, thank you. Thank you very much. So, look like you have the answer in mind. What is general English and what is test preparation? So, general English will include listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary structures, pronunciation. So, they will need that for general English. For test preparation, like we have strategies, test format, question type, task response, time management. Those are the skills they need to be ready for exam. And is it challenging for you to look for a material that both meet with general English and test preparation in one materials only? For my experience of years working in educational field, I've been working with a lot of school, institutions, and designing curriculum for them. So I found out that in order to look for the material that meet with, help the student get ready for exam, but also provide them the general English. Usually we have to combine 2 to 3 materials. One course book to provide general English, and another test preparation one to design the curriculum. So is it challenging for you to look for only one course book but can meet with, the 2 main goals? Can you name some of the course book that can meet with 2 main goals? Any course book that you know? Oh,
Headway.
right. Okay. I think headway and
Achievers.
achiever, right? That for teenagers, right? I know. Okay. We will talk about that later on. Okay. We'll discuss that later on. We will find out a course book for you later on. I will share with you one of the course book that will meet the two main goals at the same time, but not right now. Wait for another 10 minutes and you will find out that. Now we move to the second one. Here are the teaching hours, the recommended teaching hours. So could you please type in the chat box? How many hours do we need to get the student ready for A1 level in CEFR standard or A1 starters and movers exam for Cambridge? How many teaching hours are recommended for A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2? So please type your answer in the chat box. No, if you write 120, but I don't know for which level, so you please write like A1, 120 hours, something like that. A2, 240 hours, A1, 50 hours. Please don't Google, stay with me and check your memory. Some of you can Google and you can find out the answer easily, but please don't Google or ChatGPT. And make a guess, there's no right or wrong. 200 hours. For which level, Miss Nga? B1 with 360 hours? Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Kakchi. How about the others? Please share your experience, your ideas. 90 to 100 hours for A1, starter and movers. Yeah. A1, 120 hours. A2, 140 hours. B1, 250 hours.
B2, like 200 and
B2, right. Thank you, Vandy. I guess you are from Laos, right? Now, I will wait for a few more answers, as we have up to C2. A1, 60 to 100 hours.
C2, 1200 hours.
So, Chris, can you help me to read the command from teachers?
Sure. We got the answer from, so we have the answer from the Hannah, everyone, like A1 for 60 to 100 hours, A2, 200 and 250 hours, and Mr. Nelly Joy, C1, 800 and C2, 1200 hours. Yi Sophie, A1, told me how many hours do we need for A1, and Ngọc Anh Trần, A1 for 120 minutes, hours, I guess, and Hà Phạm was based on the student ability.
Okay, right. Thank you very much for your answer. Now, let me review. This is the recommended teaching hours by Cambridge. So, for example, for A1, for A1, it will approximately about 90 to 100 hours. For A2, from 180 to 200 hours for A2 level. And then, from B1, it will be 350 hours to 400 hours. And then B2, C1, and C2. So if you calculate all together, it's about 3,000 hours to get student from A1 to C2. But we do have student who is not at A1, especially primary student. We have student who is not at A1. They are just pre-A1 level. So how many hours do you need for pre-A1 student to go to A2? Go to A1. Pre-A1 to A1. How many teaching hours do you think you need to train them? To take student from pre-A1 to A1. 20 hours? You must have a talented student. 70 hours? Yeah. At least 120 hours? Yeah. Mr. Pre-A1 to A1, 45 hours, 100 hours. Right. Yeah, some of you get the correct answer. Remember, this is not my recommendation. So the numbers of hours is recommended by Cambridge. And I share with you the link on the screen, so you can click to that link and you will find out the suggested teaching hours. So let me share with you here. To take the student from pre-A1 to A1, it will require, is recommended from 90 to 100 hours. And from pre-A1 to A2, so it will approximately 400 hours. If you see here, you have 100 hours from A1, from pre-A1 to A1, and another 100 hours for A1 student, that's 200, and another 200 hours to A2. So approximately, we need about 400 hours to take the student from pre-A1 to A1 level. And if you need the student to be ready for exam, you may need another like 60 to 80 hours to get them familiar with the TED format, the strategies, and etc., the thing that we have mentioned earlier. So the total number recommended by Cambridge will be around 480 hours and beyond that. So the more time you invest, the better the result will be. I think you may agree with me on that. The more you invest, the better the result will be. But approximately, we need around 400 hours and above that. Now, we talk about another things. The number of vocabulary you need to prepare a student for the Cambridge exam. Here we have pre-A1 starters, A1 movers, and A2 flyers. So please type in the chat box the number of vocabulary you think that will need for the exam. So Chris, can you help me to explain this one to everyone?
Sure. So we have like a ranging level from pre-A1 to all the way to A2 flyer. So can you make a guess of how many words and vocabularies that we need for each level? Ranging from pre-A1 to A2. Make a guess and type in the chat box the answer.
Thank you, Chris. And again, don't Google, right?
Okay, so we have the first answer, free A1, 450, A1, 850, A2, 1,150. Okay, we have another one like pre-A1, 300, A1, 500 to 600, A2, 1,000 to 1,200. Ngọc Đào Trần, A2 600 to 7. My Lang Wing, A2 1000. Nelly Join, pre-A1 300 at 1,1500. Pre-A1 200, A1 400 and A2 800. Okay, the answers keep rolling.
Okay, thank you very much. So most of you get the right answer. Some of you go beyond the requirement. Some of you go under the requirement. Let me share with you, this is the recommended word is required by Cambridge exam that I will take out from the work list, from their work list. And again, I also give you the link right here for references. So if some of you want to download the work list or want to reference the work list in Cambridge exam, you can follow the link that I have on the screen. Here, for pre-A1, we need 500 words, including cardio numbers from 1 to 20 and 20 proper names, usually one syllable. For A1 level, they will need 400 hours. So you add them together, add them up, it's about 900 hours for A1, including cardio numbers from 1 to 100 and audio numbers from 1st to 20th. And 15 proper names. So right now, for A1 level, usually they have names with one syllable or name like two syllable. Like Francis is two syllable and Chris is one syllable. And in order to be ready for A2, they will need another 500 words, including cardio number from 1 to 1,000. So if you also count that, it's almost 1,000 number, right? And audio numbers from 20th to 31st. And 16 proper names. So right now you have names with 3 syllables. So here are the requirements from Cambridge work list. Now, if you count them all together from A1 to A2, the total number of vocabulary is how many? Can you count them all together and type in the chat box, including numbers, audio numbers and cardio numbers and proper names? You count them all together and give me the number, the total number in the chat box. 1,425. Yeah, 1,425. That's right. Correct. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So the total number is 1,425 and 1,000 number from 1 to 1,000 and audio number from 1st to 31st and proper names. So if you count them all together, it's almost more than 3,000, right? 2,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, approximately 2,000 words.
Yeah, 2,000 plus. So those are the requirements. So we have talked about the recommended teaching hours. We have talked about the number of vocabulary needed for the exam. And then if you have those information in mind, and you keep that in mind, so when you are browsing course book, you keep that in mind. If the course book meet with this requirement, so that will be the right one for you. It will save you time and save you a lot of things in order to look for the right material for your business, for your English center, for your school, and for your student. Now, let's move to another one. Here are the topics, the thematic topics in Cambridge exam. And in this table, I intentionally include some topic which is not for young learner exam. I would like you to look at this one and find out which topics are not in Cambridge exam. I'll give you 1 minute for this one, and Chris will help me explain this again in terms that I don't explain it clearly enough.
Okay, does everybody get the career? Okay, we have the answer right here. If you have the answer of the topic that is out of the Cambridge thematic topic, so please type in the chat box. Technology.
Remember, we're talking about the topic which is not in Cambridge exam.
In the Cambridge
right.
exam. Yeah.
The majority of the topics right here are Cambridge exam, are in Cambridge exam. But some are not in Cambridge exam. Yeah. I have a lot of answer for technologies, career, technology materials, right?
Materials.
Toys. I think toys will be in Cambridge exam. Even for very young learners, they start learning toys. Materials, right?
He's unmute.
You read it.
Okay. So we got like answer, technology, career, transport, the world around us, career, technology. There are a lot of answer with technology and career. Okay, we are still waiting for more answer to roll in the chat box. Okay. Technology, career, materials, the world around us, work. Name.
Oh.
Okay, so I think it's time to review the answer for the participants.
Now, Chris, can you help me to sum up what is the majority answer we have?
Okay, the
here?
majority that we answered that we have received from our participant will primarily fall on the technology, career, materials, health, art. So those topics are primarily from our participant today, with which are not on the the topic of the Cambridge thematic topics.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. I think most of you get the right answer. Actually, we have 4 topics here. There's going to be 4 topics which will not appear in Cambridge exam young learner. The first one will be art. Yeah, good. So on the first column, you can see art and career will be not in Cambridge exam. For the second column, you can see hobbies will not in the Cambridge exam. Some of you say materials, but actually materials will be in Cambridge exam. There will be topic for materials. And next one, we have technology. So technology, yeah, this is the topics which is not in Cambridge exam because it's too abstract for young learners, too difficult for them to study. And the rest will be the topics in Cambridge exam. And aligned with these topics will be a list of vocabulary for the topics. So let's do another activity together. I will pick out a topic, material, here, one of the topic in Cambridge exam. And for starter, you may have the word paper. Will be tested in starter's exam. How about movers and how about flyers? So you will guess the word for this topic. It will be tested in Cambridge exam. And one more thing, don't Google. I keep reminding you that. So let's guess how much you know about this.
Okay, if you have the answer and know the words from the topic materials, please type in the chat box so that we can see the answer.
Okay, we're waiting for your answer.
We could have movers.
They are thinking, I guess.
Okay.
Wood.
Leather. Is it like leather for movers or flyer? Can you specify that totally?
Yeah. So if you give us a word, you also specify that.
Right.
Yeah.
Famous.
Famous a material?
Famous is, I think, is an adjective. It's not our materials topic.
Yeah, there's a lot of answer pop up.
Right.
Can you read that?
Okay, so we got starter, plastic, mover, wood, flyer, wound, metal, mover, silver, golden, wooden, starter, class, movers, leather, flyer, silver, gold, mover, plastic, steel, starter, pencils, crayon, starter, paper, wood, animals, aluminum, okay, flyer, wood, flyer, concrete, cement, mover, furniture, flyer, gadget, mover, wood, gold, glass, plastic, starter. Okay, so we got a lot of answer that's specifying the materials for each level. Okay, we have more answer. Plastic, leather, plastic, school things, golden, class, and flyer, wood, plastic.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris, and thank you a lot for your participation. It's more than my expectation. Usually when doing webinars like this, I think that me, myself, when I was attending a webinar, usually I stay silent. But you make me happy. You celebrate our days today because your participation makes us really happy. And we highly appreciate your participation. So keep participate with us until the end of the workshop. What will be the most challenging for the student when they are sitting for exam? If they see some word which is not being taught before, they haven't learned that. And in test designing, there would be some tests if they choose the word above the student level. For example, if they choose some word from B1 level, for example, or from B2 level. And when students see the structures or the vocabulary in that level, they will have difficulty and struggling with exam. And the right exam will use the right word at the right level for the student. that will be considered as a friendly exam for the student. So for this topic, we don't have a lot of words. So actually, we don't have word for mover level for this topic. For material, you only have one word, paper. And for flyers, we have a word like, Chris, can you help me to read the list of words for this topic?
All right,
Flyers.
so we got some vocabularies word for the materials, flyers, card, glass, gold, metal, plastic, silver, wood, and wood.
Yeah, okay. So again, if you go to the link that I shared with you earlier, you can find this material. They will specify for you on which topic and which level, on which vocabulary in each topic. And so we have discussed the recommended teaching hours needed for the exam. We also talk about the topics in the exam. And we also talk about the vocabulary in the exam. So right now, we need to look for a material that map with this requirement, specifically Cambridge requirement. And there's a lot of choices in the market for you. There's so many. If you go to the bookstore or you go to the any publishing house, and you will see they have a list of choices. And it's not easy for us to make a choice. So please allow me to share with you one of our brand new series that we designed that meet with all the requirements we have mentioned earlier. The recommended teaching hours, the vocabulary work list, and the topic as well. So DTP, we just come up with a brand new series named Let's Sign. So in this series, we have 6 levels, and the recommended teaching hours will be minimum about 480 hours to 550 hours plus. Why we have this wide range, I will explain to you later on. Here, and the series will have 6 levels, and will take the student from pre-A1 to A2 level. Could you remind me again, how many hours do we need to take the student from pre-A1 to A2 level, or A2 plus? How many teaching hours recommended by Cambridge? Can you remind me in the chat box again? Yeah, that's 400 teaching hours, right? Good. Including test prep? Yeah, it will be approximately, let's say 500 hours, right? It's easy for you to remember. And how many vocabulary do we need for that one? How many vocabulary do we need to prepare for the student from pre-A1 to A2? No, altogether from pre-A1 to A2, yeah, 1,425. Yeah, you have good memories. Yeah, thank you. You are so good. And we prepare the student for exam. We'll not only have Cambridge exam, but we also have language cert exam. So there's a lot of exam for young learners, including Cambridge, language cert, what else? TOEFL. Yeah, there's so many exam for primary student. And with this course book, we will take the student, we'll prepare the student to be ready for Cambridge exam. We will cover the vocabulary recommended by Cambridge. We'll also cover the teaching hours recommended. And we design the books in this format. We have a unit, 2 pages for each lesson. And here's the recommended teaching hours from our side. And as you can see, the teaching hours can be from 90 hours to 240 hours for each level. Why? Why do we have that wide range? If you look at the table, you can see here we have a lot of components for school and teachers. And I will share with you later on these components, and you will see that how readiness they are. So if you use just the basic components for this series, the student book and workbook, so the recommended teaching hour will be 90 hours for each level. But if you use more resources like student book, the flashcard, the software for teaching, extra worksheet, test book list, PowerPoint, if you use all the components that we prepare for you, so the recommended teaching hours can be 200 hours plus. So what do I want to point out here? This means this book will not only suitable for English centers when you have, shorter schedule. If you want to be more competitive in the market, you have to design short schedule so that you can, reduce the school fee for the student. But if you want to use this book for this course book for an international school or a bilingual school where you have longer schedule, and yeah, you can still consider using this one because we have wide range of teaching hours recommended. We have wide range of components. Let's see the components we have here. So we have student book and workbook. It's also go with e-student book and e-workbook, which allow the student to use online. We have online workbook that allow the student to check the student homework and correct homework in the class easily with interactive activities. We also have one software we name the Zito Home Activities that allow the student to strengthen vocabulary and structures for them to play. This is a game-based software. It's a game-based software for a student to review the vocabulary and the structures they study in the class. Really engaging. And for teachers, we go beyond that. We also have another software named DCR. So remember, the teacher components will include the student component and the teacher components. So the teacher components will include DCR, the digital classroom resources, for teachers to use in the class to deliver the lesson. But we also prepare one really good material that I think will be the PowerPoint lesson plan right here. We have a detailed lesson plan for you, and I will go to the demonstration. When we move to the third thing on the agenda, the demonstration, you will see how useful the PowerPoint is. And we also prepare extra worksheets for you in case that you need extra teaching hours. Test booklets to prepare students for Cambridge exam and language cert exam as well. So because of our rich materials, we can have a wide range of teaching hours recommended for you. Now let's see how long. Let's see how much you pay attention to my presentation. So I have another small game right here for you. You look at the icons, and then you will type the components in the chat box. For example, the first pictures will show you this is the teacher's book. So you will type in the chat box the teacher book. Good. Now, if you're ready for this review, we shall begin. Good. I guess some of you have attended some of my workshops before, because every year I have about 400 training workshops around the country. So I think some of you here have attended my workshop before. You know what to do, how to participate with me. This is your first time, right? How do you feel, Wendy? How do you feel attending this workshop? Yeah. Now, we play together. Great, yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Thank you. Okay, so I will show you the pictures, and you type the name of the components in the chat box, right? Number 2 will be flashcard. Good. Yeah. Number 3 is duck soup, right? Student book. Number 4. Good. Workbook. Number 5. That e-teacher book, right? E-teacher book, not e-book, right? Good. Next one. So don't write DCR, because DCR is on the screen already. You have to write the name of this one. DCR. What does DCR stand for? Yeah, digital classroom resources. Yeah, you are so good. Jovi.
Lesson plan.
Jovi is from Thailand, right? Next one.
PPT.
Yep, PPT, good. Next one. It's not test. Yeah, that's extra worksheet. Yeah, Phương Trần. Yeah, you're so good. Next one. The icons already tell you. Yeah, audio files, right? Good. Next one. It's not workbook only. Yeah, it's online workbook, right? It's online workbook. Different. Workbook and online workbook is, different components. DHA, what does that stand for? Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Toàn Vũ. Yeah, thank you. How about the last one, the last components? What are they? Yeah, thank you. So you see that we have a lot of components for teachers. And because of our rich components, we have wide range of recommended teaching hours. What that means is this series can be suitable for English school, for English center if you have short schedule, and even for bilingual school or international school where you have longer schedule. Right? It's still good. Now, here we have the work list in this book. We carefully selected the vocabulary to meet with the Cambridge exam and the language search exam. So we select on the vocabulary in the Cambridge work list, and then we design this series. So I can guarantee that 90%, more than 90% of the words in this level will meet with the Cambridge exam requirement. Number two, in terms of the topics right here, you can see that this is one of the scope and sequence. I think this is level 3. You can see that most of the topic we have here is in the Cambridge exam. We cover more than 90% the topic recommended in Cambridge exam. And for each level, we'll cover about 240 words and 24 structures for each level. So can you times, we have 6 levels, 240 new words per level. So time with 6 levels, how many words do we have in this series? Can you type your answer in the chat box? Yeah, 1440. That's right.
That's right. Yeah, that the correct answer is 1,440 words is the correct answer.
Yeah. Now, please remind me how many words are recommended in Cambridge exam, and language search exam will be the same. Yeah. Okay. So if you compare the two numbers, thank you, Joy. You have 1,425. And in this series left side, we have 1,440. So we cover that requirement. So that's what I guaranteed with you earlier. This series, in terms of the topic, yeah, we designed them to align with the Cambridge exam. In terms of teaching hours, yeah, we decided to meet with the teaching hours recommended by Cambridge, and also vocabulary. So those are the 3 basic things in designing a curriculum that meet with the exam alignment. And with this series, we carefully select the vocabulary, the topic, as well as the teaching hours. We carefully design them to get the student not only ready for exam, but also prepare them for general English that we have mentioned earlier, including all the language skills, listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary, structures, etc. So this is one of the good options for you, for your consideration, if you are looking for materials preparing the student to meet with 2 goals, general English and test preparation. Now, we move to the second thing on the agenda, language development and exam preparation. Before I move to the second thing on the agenda, would you like to take a break? Or shall we continue? If you want to take a break, like a short break for 5 minutes, you will type number 5 in the chat box. Now, if you want me to continue, you will type move on, and then we will continue. Okay, some of you move on, some of you say 5 minutes. Chris, you will sum up and like which one have the majority, move on
okay,
or 5
so we
minutes?
have the majority answer is number 5. It looks like they want to have a short break, and they want to move on, like about 10, 15 people, they want to move on. Someone said, let's have a short break. Move on, move on. Go on, please. Well, someone say 5, 5, 5, 5, 5.
Which one would be the majority?
The number 5. It feels like number 5. It looks like number 5. A lot of people want to move on. Maybe we have us started earlier. Move on, move on. So like we have a equal answer from number, whether they want to have a break or they want to keep going.
So I will let you make a decision, Chris. What do you want now?
Well, I mean, that's okay. I mean, I can do it, like keep rolling. And then maybe that we have a short break after number 2, right?
Yeah.
Language development and test exam preparation. Okay?
So if you don't want to take a break, but please allow me to take 5 minutes break. Is that okay? Because I've been talking for more than 45 minutes, and if you are not tired of listening to me, but
that's why we need 5 minutes break.
Yeah, okay. We'll relax a little bit. I will play one of my favorite songs for you to listen, and then after the song, we will come back for the second thing on the agenda. Would that be okay? So while we are taking a break, now if those who don't want to take a break, you can type your feeling in the chat box. How do you feel of the webinar today? What do you think about the first thing on the agenda that I shared with you? Is the information useful? Is that useful for you? Can you get something from the workshop? Type your feeling in the chat box. And why I am playing the song for others who want to relax for 5 minutes. And those who still want to continue with me, you can type your feeling in the chat box for the first section. Thank you.
Okay, shall we move on to our
now,
next
before we move on,
discussion number 2?
Before we move on, there's one speaking activities in Cambridge exam that will tell where the student have to say the differences between the 2 pictures. Now you see on the screen, Chris and me. So please type in the chat box what are different from us. You see the 2 pictures and tell me what's different. This is one of the speaking activities we have in Cambridge exam. Hairstyle, right? Okay.
Hairstyle.
Yeah.
Now, that is a great answer, right? Very obvious. Very obvious hairstyle. The one on the left and the one on the right side, right? Glasses.
Fat and
that's
thin.
right. What? Someone says fat and thin? Okay, and who's fat, who's thin? Body size? Oh my gosh. How do you see my bodies in both bodies? Color coach. Teeth? Beauty.
Oh,
Sweet
voice.
voice.
Who has Swiss voice?
And spectacular eyes and clothes. Okay. Glasses, have a beautiful voice, smile, healthy and strong. Healthy equals lay. Background behind.
Okay, this is one of the speaking activities the students are expected to perform at the Cambridge exam that we'll show you later on. And in our book, we also have that as well, where the students have to look at the 2 pictures and say the differences between the 2 pics. So that's the reason why I have this warm-up with you. Now, please allow me to share my screen and we move to the second thing on the agenda. Right. Okay. So this is my second topic. We talk about language development and exam preparation. So what can we do to help students develop language while preparing for the exam? So this will be my questions. Please kindly share your ideas in the chat box for this one. We have 1 minute short discussion for this one. What do we need to do to help students develop language while preparing for exam? And you can answer as long as you want. Communicative, right? Making stern,
Making stern.
or
Okay.
I'm not really
Making
clear
stern.
about that.
Revision, study habit.
Mm.
Provide them lexical resources, like vocabulary resources.
Yeah.
Okay. Provide them read, practice, review, hair, body, clothes.
I think that for the warm-up.
Oh, okay. All right. Show them how to learn by themselves, reading and echo again.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's because I haven't turned up my mic right. Okay, go.
Okay. More practice with them, balance, study, and relaxation. The audio is not okay. Revision tips with skills. The audio is not okay again. Reading story, watching English videos, spelling games, or any English games to review them vocabs with fun. Balance lesson knowledge, focus on the language development while reminding them on how this is relevant to the exam. Listening and speaking, identify student strengths and weakness.
Okay. Thank you, Chris, and thank you for your participation. Let me give you the answer for these questions. So, in order to develop language for the student while preparing for exam, as we have mentioned earlier, in order to prepare a student to get ready for the exam, we need both, general English, including all the language skills, the knowledge and vocabulary and structures we have mentioned earlier, and the test preparation includes strategies, test format, so many things that we have mentioned for my previous discussion. So, yeah, in order to develop the language skill for the student and prepare them for exam, there's two things we have to do. Number one, building receptive skill and productive skill. So please type in the chat box, what are receptive skills and what are productive skills? Can you type your answer in the chat box? This is quite easy, right? Yeah, listening, reading, good. Receptive, yeah, listening, reading. Productive, speaking, writing. Yeah, that's right. So I would add on for receptive. So we have receptive skill, will be listening and reading. There's our input for the student. And let's see, without input, without output. Supposing that I don't have the PowerPoint slide here, like the input for you, so there will be no expectation, right? Receptives also including vocabulary, grammar, or structures, you mentioned that, and so many other things, knowledge as well. So those are receptive skill and knowledge as well. Productive skill, speaking and writing. So in order to develop language for the student, the first thing we need to build receptive skills and productive skill for them. Second thing, we have to design lesson objective that target both language skills and exam techniques. We have mentioned earlier, including strategies, test format. We have to show our students what will be expected in the exam, what type of question will be tested, and how can they manage their time to do the test, and what do they have to do, some strategy as well. So those are two things we have to do to prepare the student for exam and develop language for them. And let's see in our material, what can we do with this main goal. So in this material, firstly, the student book we design to present, practice, and produce language. So for each lesson, we keep them consistent from lesson 1 to lesson 3. We design the lesson in a consistent format, which is friendly for teachers and students, easy to use and easy to teach. So every part in the book, we have presentation part, and then practice and production. So we follow this structures format from lesson 1 to lesson 3. Now, if you look at the final activities in this lesson, activity 6, we expect our students to be able to perform a short Q&A. Do you want to take your towel? Yes, I do. Now, supposing that we expect our students to be able to have an output skill or productive skill at the end, they will be able to speak, to perform a short Q&A or conversation like this. So we use backward design theory. We go back on. First, we state very clearly the objective we want or the productive skill that we want the student will be able to do at the end of the lesson. And then we go back to design the activities to help the student achieve that objective. So if you look at the whole lesson here, you will see that we want the student to be able to perform these short questions, a Q&A. So we go back. What do they need? Of course, they need vocabulary. Of course, they need structures. And of course, they need sample how to make this conversation. So we design the activities from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, prepare the student the necessary material, the necessary language elements so that they can perform the speaking activities at the end. And these structures will be consistently through our level from 1 to 6. And from every book, from every unit, we keep this consistent. So that means the teachers doesn't have to take a lot of time to be trained for this book, but they may take a few hours to get familiar with the book structure and the lesson structures, and they can ready to use with the book. And moving on to lesson, there's one more thing that I want to point out right here. And you see the lesson that we design, that we will provide them the input or the receptive, and then the output, productive. We move to lesson 4 in this book. This is different one. So you also see that activities 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them are input or receptive. And activity 6 will be productive. You see, the more input you have, the more output you can perform. So we design the activities in this way. In lesson 4, we also provide them with reading and get them familiar with the test formats as well. And then lesson 5, we move to another lesson, lesson 5 right here. Yeah, we have the output will be writing and speaking. So we provide them input with vocabulary, reading, and then finally we have the production activity. You see, you see them sitting, you give them input like vocabulary, structures, practice all the language skills, and then you have the output at the end. That's how we design the book. And for the review lesson, actually the review lesson will have 2 purposes. Number 1, we will help the student consolidate and practice what they have studied in the unit. But we also have another 2 pages in the review lesson which aim to prepare the student for exam. So you guys can see the headline right here, ready, set, test. It means in this page, we will prepare the student for the exam. So you see, you don't have to combine the course book and another test prep course book, test prep book for your curriculum. But you use one series, less sign, and then you can meet 2 goals, 2 main goals at the same time. In our lesson, we prepare them for general English, and in the review lesson, we will help them get ready for exam. So, for example, you can see the sample page right here. Activities 5, 6, 7. Can you help me? Can you help me to find out activities 5 here? Listening. In which Cambridge exam, and in which part we have this format, this test format? Chris, can you help me to leave the question in the chat box that Hugo mentioned?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got a flyer Mover, stutter, listening, part 1. Mr. Longman, can you specify more information about listening part 1? Which level? Part 1 movers. Stutter, listening, part 1. Part 1. Mover, part 3. Flyer, part 3. Part 2 movers. Part 1 listening, movers and flyers. Mover and flyers, part number 3, listening part.
Okay, thank you. Most of you get the right answer. Now, next one. How about activity 6? Activity 6. See here. Speaking activities. Again, in which test and which part of the test you can find these speaking activities?
Part 3, movers and flyer. Speaking movers. Speaking part 1 for stutters. Movers part 2. Part 3 of the movers. Okay. Movers part 1.
Okay. Thank you. Now let's see who has the correct answer. Okay. So this is the listening is part 4 in mover exam. I think there's no one answer part 4, right? Most of them mention part 3.
Yeah, the majority. Well, most of them like doing part 2, part 3, and there was no answer for part 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So actually, this is the description for part 4 in movers listening. To go listen to 5 short conversation, and there is a question and 3 pictures for each conversation. Children have to decide which picture shows the right answer and the questions and put blank. You see. So this is listening part 4 mover exam. And how about the speaking here? Let's see the answer. This is part 3 in mover speaking. Right? Yeah. Some of you get the correct answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you see that what I want to point out here, if you look back on the material that I have presented to you earlier, we have lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, prepare a student for general English. And review lesson will get the student ready for exam. And we mirror almost exactly the test format the student is about to take. The test activities, the question type, and the part in the test. So we will take that and we'll mirror in our book. So we use the characters, the vocabulary, and the images in our book to help the student that will make the student easier to familiarize with the characters and doing the test activities. You can see that our book, our course book, will meet 2 goals at the same time. Not only prepare students for general English, but also get them ready for tests as well. And another component we have in this series is a grammar bank, usually at the back of the book. So the grammar bank will help the student have further practice on the target language, as well as prepare them for exam as well. So we have a lot of materials to prepare the student for both goals, objectives we have mentioned earlier. Here's the workbook. So the workbook, again, is designed to review the target language in the student book and also provide them further practice for the target language. Another component we have here is the test book list that we design for the book. So with unit test, midterm test, final test, we design in this series is also get the student ready for exam. So in short, what can I say here? The lesson in the books is for general English. The review lessons is for test. and another components like test book list or the test bank in this book will get student ready for exam. So that means you don't have to choose two materials, one course book and another test book for your curriculum, but you use our course book and we prepare other things for you. So I have another question right here. In which Cambridge test is the listening part? In left side test bank similar to. You look at the pictures right here and tell me in which part of the Cambridge test is the activity similar to. Mover part 1. Mover listening part 1. Yeah. Actually, you don't have to think in this question because we use the mover exam and when we decide that. So actually, this is part 1. You can see the pictures tell you part 1 already. Right? Let me share with you what we have. So we have 6 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in level 1 and level 2, the activities in the review lesson and the test bank will prepare students for study exam. Level 3 and level 4, that will go with mover exam. So that's the reason why I am demonstrating the sample page on level 3 right here. So most of the sample will be mover exam. And levels 5 and level 6 will prepare students for flyover exam and language search as well. So that's the reason why you see in the test bank right here, this is level 3, left side 3. So the test bank we have will be mover exam, mostly. You see part 2, and yeah, this is another one, right? So we have another thing right here. We have the material will prepare the student for the whole test, not only for listening, but the whole test. You have from listening, this is reading one, and this is speaking activities. So the test book list or will prepare student for exam like this one. This is speaking activities. Yeah. So let me sum up the second thing on the agenda I want to share with you. There's only 2 things that you have to keep in mind. Number 1 is preparing student for exam. That we have material for that. And number 2 will be general English. Yeah, our materials also prepare the student for that as well. Let me move to the third thing on the agenda, and that will be my focus today. Some practical teaching ideas and support and demonstration. So in this part, I want to share with you the readiness of our components that will prepare for you to teach. Now let's have a look at this is lesson 1, book 3, book 5 in our series. This is lesson 1 in book 5 our series. And you can see in this one we have 6 activity. Activity number 1 will be presenting vocabulary. Number 2 will practice the vocabulary and listening. Number 3, production. They will start using the vocabulary to perform a short conversation. And you can see the structures we have in activity 2 and activity 3 will be taken from previous lesson or from previous level. It means the structures students already study. And then we gradually introduced the main structures for this lesson in activities 4. Then activities 5, the student will have a chance to practice the core structures of the lesson. And activity 6 will be speaking activities on production stage, where students will use their target language, vocabulary, and structures to perform the short conversation. So with this lesson, let's see how we prepare the PowerPoint lesson plan for you. Is it detailed or not? And does that link from lesson 1 to lesson 2 for you? So please allow me to share one of the components that we developed for you. And then you will give me a comment at whether the component is ready for you to use in the classroom. Is it ready and useful? Now, let's have a look at the PowerPoint slide we prepare for you. This is lesson 1. Okay. Remember that even though we prepare this one very carefully for you, but please still consider this one as a recommendation. You are feel free to customize them to meet with your goal. So we begin the slide with the lesson state. What's that? Okay, we begin the slide with the lesson stages. How many parts we have in the lesson, from warm up to wrap up, and then here is this for warm up. To lead in the lesson, we have warm up activities right here to lead the student into the lesson, and then it's time to learn. We start presenting the key vocabulary for the student. The PowerPoint slide will include the audio for you and also games for you to interact with the students. We prepare the word, including the IPS, for you to make sure the pronunciation is right. And then we have games for teachers to practice in the class with the student. And we also include extra games in the workbook for consolidation for the first part. And then we move to the second activities, listening. Yeah, we also design activities and extra activity for you right here. Then move to activity 3, speaking. We also have, animated activities so that you can use in the classroom. And then for consolidation, so we have another games at the end of the lesson for you to consolidate the lesson that we have delivered with the student. You can see the slide here is quite ready. And for me, I think this is more than my expectation. It's more than my expectation. If I have this PowerPoint slide, I can use it directly in the class. I don't have to design anything else. So this is lesson 1, and then we move to lesson 2. Okay. So this one, we move to lesson 2. We see how we design the slide. So in lesson 2, you can see here, so first we will warm up. We will warm up to help the student review the previous lesson. So we have some games for them to warm up, but on the purposes of reviewing lesson 1. And then after reviewing lesson 1, we move to lesson 2. Yeah. So in lesson 2, we also have warm-up activities. We have lead-in activities. And then we present new words for the student. After presenting new words, there will be games for a student to participate in the classroom with teachers, including extra activities in workbook, and then games again. So you can see that the PowerPoint slide we prepare here is ready to use for teachers. And that's the reason why, let me go back to my first presentation when I'm talking about the teaching hours recommended in this series. Now, supposing that you have short schedule and you design them like 90 hours for each level. So when using this PowerPoint slide, you can cut some, you can hide some slide you don't use in the class. But now supposing that you have a really long schedule, like in a bilingual school or in international school where you have like maybe 10 or 12 periods a week, then you can see this slide can help you to fulfill that time. So that's the reason why the more components you use, the longer schedule you can design for your curriculum. And this one I can say is ready to use, right? We have a lot of things. Now, before moving on, I would like you to participate in some of the games that we designed in our PowerPoint slide. And Chris gonna help me with this. So please stay with him. So right now, I would invite you to play in the role of a learner in level 3. So that means you are about, let's say, 12 or 13 now.
Right.
10,
10,
right.
10, 11.
10, 11 right now. So pretending that you are 10 or 11 years old student and study with Chris for this part. And then after that, you will share with me whether you see the slide, is useful or not? Is it engaging or not? Is it interesting or not? If you use this one in the classroom. So, Chris, can you begin?
Sure. Just mute off the.
Mute up mine. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's what do you turn off this? Okay, everybody. So, welcome to Mr. Chris' class. In today's lesson, normally in the in-person class, we will have more interactions with the student, and today we're only talking through a machine and talking online. So I hope everybody can fully enjoy and give us our feedback after this activity. So can anybody tell me, look at the picture and tell me, like, where are they? Where are the students? Are they at home? Are they at school? Or are they at a library? They are in class. Okay. All right. Classroom. Okay. Can anybody tell me, like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Are they making craft? Are they doing origami? Are they cutting things and pasting things? Cutting paper at school, at the library, because they're at a table. Okay. Art and crafts. Okay. Very good. Okay. And do you know, what subject are they learning? What subject? Art, okay, shapes, math, maybe art, okay, integrated, okay. And what else can you see in the picture? What else can you see in the picture? Doing craft, art and classroom, project works, art and craft, okay. Happy kids, yeah, they're happy, they smile at each other. They're making craft in the art lessons. Okay. Can you move on to the next one? Okay. So this is the question again. Like, what do you do at school? What do you do at school? Like, are you learning different subjects? Like, what kind of subject do you learn in grade 5 or grade 6? Playing. Learning, playing, okay, just playing, art and craft, okay, and like the subject, do you learn any different subject beside art and craft and stuff like that? Practice, math, music, okay, all right.
So thank you, Chris. You see that the slide that we prepare here, if you look back on, when you do this warm-up activities with Chris will help you or the student activate the prior knowledge they have already known about a topic by using our engaging and vivid pictures right here. So Chris can help the student activate the prior knowledge. We also help him to estimate, to evaluate how much the student already known about the topic they are about to learn, in an engaging way, in a Q&A discussion or classroom discussion, or maybe a pair word activities. You can design this one, you can utilize this one as a pair word activities. Let the student think, pair, and then they share with the whole class. Or he can use, as he has just done with us, a class interview. So he interviewed the student will respond and give the answer. And by doing this little warm-up activities, he has already known his student, where they are, how much they have known about the topic. And then the slide will continue. It's time to learn now. Then we have a lesson. They will study today is school subjects. And then he start introducing the lesson using the PowerPoint slide here. You see, we have audio, we have images for you to listen, to introduce the vocabulary. Now, I will skip this part, right? You will see how readiness is. We have the pictures, the IPAs, and the word as well, to help the students study the correct pronunciation at the very beginning. You know, learning the right pronunciation at the beginning is really crucial for learners. Because I will take my experience, for example, when I study. The first time I learned that word by myself, and I pronounced it incorrectly. And you know, later on, even though I read the IPAs, I try to correct myself, but when in some stressful situation or when I don't pay attention enough, I still make mistake with that word in terms of pronunciation. If you listen to me from the beginning until now, that you can find out that I have a lot of mistakes in pronunciation. And sometimes my English is not clear enough. I have struggling with my English and how to express my thought and feeling. And thank you for your tolerance from the beginning until now. Please allow me to make this simple question, this short question. Am I easy to understand, and is my English clear enough for you to follow me from the beginning up to now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
My English is not as good as Chris, but hopefully that you can. But if you pay close attention, you can see that I still make a lot of mistake in pronunciation. I have to admit that. Now let me go back to this one. So we see that the PowerPoint slide would prepare for you is readiness. It's ready to use. Now, after presenting the vocabulary, we will have another game for students to practice and consolidate the activities, the vocabulary that they have studied. So I will let this part for Chris to come back. Now, let's come back to teacher Chris again. He will play this game with you. So Chris, can you start?
Okay, so we have learned about the vocabularies in the presentation procedure, and now we move to the second practice procedure. What is Sue's favorite class? So let's take a look at these activities, and I think everybody is familiar with this fill in the blank information. So we have a sentence with a word needed to fill in the blank. So so there is a picture with animation integrated in the slide that will show you the picture of the book's cover. So everybody can look at the book and tell me the answer, either A, B, or C. Okay, very good. So normally in this activity, so I will ask the student to look at the picture and fill the word in the blanks, and then after that I can ask them to read for me the whole sentence. Like Sue's favorite class is geography, and by doing this I can understand the problem in or the mistakes in pronunciation of the student. For example, when we have to say the Sue's, the sound, so I can know exactly how the student pronounce the word and help them to fix the mistake. Okay, so the answer here is B, geography. Okay, and next one, the same, science. We get a book cover, and then the answer is A, very good, science. Okay, and we keep going with the activities in order to review our vocabulary that we learned from the presentation part. Sue's favorite part is, okay. So there are two there are two purposes of doing this activity. First one is to review the vocabulary that we learned from the beginning, and the second one, like I said, to help to understand the struggle in their pronunciation and find out how they pronounce the word in order to help them to correct the mistake in the pronunciation. So those are the two purposes of this exercise. Okay, so I think everybody is good and is ready to go.
Thank you, Chris. You see, this activity is quite easy for you. You know why? Because on the pictures we already have the word, but in some other lesson there will be only the pictures and not the word on the pictures. So that will help the student remember the vocabulary, practice the vocabulary. They will link the pictures they have studied with the English words, the spelling of that word, and you see, there will be a lot of learning purposes here. So what I want to point out here is the PowerPoint slide that will prepare for you in the classroom is really useful and ready to use. We're moving on. So we have listening practice, yeah, we also have reading activities, we have animated activities, we have extra practice for the student using the audio script. And then moving on, you can see the PowerPoint slide we prepare. If I am a teacher and I use this material, this course book, and I am provided with the PowerPoint slide, and I think I can ready to use. And as a school owner, or as a school owner, you can guarantee the teaching standard from teachers because you have the material, you have the PowerPoint slide. It is like a ready lesson plan. So even though you have like intern teachers in your school and they use this PowerPoint slide, you can still feel they will meet at least standard of your teaching of your class. So I believe this one is a really useful one. And then you see, moving on, we have further a lot of activities for you. So this PowerPoint slide, you can use them for 90 minutes, or you can even use them for 2 hours, I think. So we design beyond the teacher's expectation. But not only this one, we also link them with another lesson. Like when they finish lesson 1, they move to lesson 2. So in lesson 2, we also have activities for the student to review the previous part. And then we lead into new lesson. So for this one, I would like Chris to play with you this game, Hidden Picture. So he will be a teacher again, and then you will study with him to play this game again. Right? Welcome, Teacher Chris, and welcome all of you to his class.
Okay, it's me back. Teacher Chris is in town. Okay, like I said, like in lesson number 2 from the beginning, so we have an activity in order to review or warm up or like energetic activity for the student to participate in. So the activity today is called the What is Hiding Behind. So let's take a look at our different like colorful squares. So the animation is triggered in each boxes. So you can ask one student to come up and choose the color. So can anybody help me to choose a color? Yellow. Okay.
Good.
All right. And then we have a picture a review so that you can ask the student to identify what kind of books is that, what kind of subject is that they learned from the lesson number 1. Yes, and the answer is maths. Okay, very obvious.
Good
so
choice.
Yeah, and if you choose like another, if you hover your arrow to different boxes, you can see like there is each trigger animation in each box. So it will help you to create the game and get a student engaged in activities. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Say the color you want to
Say the color
review.
you want to review. Red. Okay.
Red.
Okay, so we have like a small edge of the picture. Yellow.
Yellow
It
again.
looks like we have to find another a way or another color to extend and to prolong the activities, to help a student guess the picture and say their name of the subject that they learned from lesson number 1. Okay, here comes the next one. Please don't select yellow or red. We have like different colors. Green. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we have like a small corner. Okay. Art. Okay, that's right. That is art. So when all the picture is all the boxes are flipped, so the picture is reviewed, and then you can see like different things. And as a student, to say the word or even can spell the word for you before saying the word correctly. So this is like a small warm-up activity before we begin lesson number 2. It's kind of like leading activities.
Thank you, Chris. And you see that we prepare more than that. Now, If you want to play the game hidden to review the vocabulary for the student at the beginning of the lesson, before you move to lesson 2. But if you don't like that game, we have another option for you. This game will not only review the vocabulary, but also the structure they have studied in previous lesson. So they can play this game, look at the picture and say the sentence, I've got history on Monday, for example. You see here, we prepare, I think, so many things for you to review the lesson, to start the lesson, right? And the PowerPoint slide here, you can use offline, you can use online. If your class go online, you can use the PowerPoint slide we have. If your class go offline, yeah, you can still use this one. But please allow me to share my little experience, just a little one, in the way that you are designing activities, making new activities for the student. Beside the PowerPoint slide you have here, we also have another, I would like to share with you some extra games for your consideration. And if you think it's useful, then you will tell me it later on. In this part, I'm going to share with you the way so that you can come up with new teaching ideas, new teaching activities with limited preparation time. I think the PowerPoint slide there is amazing. But in case that you cannot use the PowerPoint slide, for example, here are some other ideas that I want to share with you so that you can deliver the lesson in case you are struggling with technologies, for example. And my question is how to come up with teaching ideas, with new teaching ideas for this specific activities in the book, you see. So these activities, you have 3 main things the student have to do is listen, point, and say. That will be 3 main things students have to do. First, they have to listen, maybe the audio or the teachers, and then they point to the pictures and say the word. Now, most of the book will design with these activities when they want to present vocabulary. And now if you want to come up with new teaching ideas for these activities, I will show you how. In this one, you will have 3 words: listen, point, and say. Now, if you take the second verb, the verb in the middle, you take the second verb, point, you take that out, and then you replace with another word, and you will have new activities. For example, I can say, listen, clap, and say. Then I have a new activity. Listen, jump, and say. Then I have new activities, right? Listen, what else?
Listen, swat, and play.
Yeah.
Maybe
listen,
like that. Swat,
and
hop,
play.
shake.
Listen, shake, and play. Then you see that it's very simple. If you just take the word point out and you replace it with another verb, then you have new teaching activities, right? So you can listen, decode, and say. For example, okay, I would like you to play this game with me a little bit. Listen, decode, and say. Before I play this game with you, you yourself let's imagine or give out the rules how to play this game. Just simple rules. If I replace the word point with the word decode, then what will be the rules? I don't share with you the rules, but I let you guess the rules of this game. Can you share your answer in the chat box? So what will you do when I ask you to decode? Make 1 gestures for 1 word. No, it's not the rule for this one. Point, say the word. Slow, figure out, choose answer. Teachers say the meaning of the subject. A code message. All right, thank you. Now, I will do the game with you. I will play the game with you, and then you will tell me the rule later on. Okay? I will play with you, and then you will tell me the rule later on. I will not explain the rule for you. So now, you will listen to me, and then you will tell me the number of the picture. For example, if I say science, you will say 1. But because we are participating online, so you will write the number. You will type the number in the chat box. Is that okay? Now, if you are ready for the game, you type letter R in the chat box, and we shall begin. Okay. Most of you are ready. Now, let's go. History. Computer science. Art. Geography. History and geography. Science, computer science. Math, geography, history. Art, science, math, computer science. Chris, can you help me to check if they are typing the right orders?
Okay.
History, computer science, art science.
History, computer science, math.
Science, science, science.
Science.
Good.
One. Okay.
History, science, geography.
History, science, geography. Okay. This is a great combo.
History, computer science, art, math, science, geography.
Oh, that's a long coding.
Science, science, history, history, math, maths. Good, thank you. You know, when playing this game with a student, they have so many opportunities to listen to the word again and again. And you know, the more they listen, the better their pronunciation will be, because it's, you know, influenced together. And then you can come to the second verse of this game. Now I will say the number and you say the word. Teacher say number, student say the word. For example, teacher say number 1, student will say science. And because we are participating online, so I will make it simple for you. I will say the number and you type the letter for that word. For example, I say 1, you just type letter S. Instead of you have to write the whole word science, will take time, right? So you make it simple, you just write S. Ready? Go. 2.
2.
Good. 3. 5. 6. 4. 1 1. 1 1 2. 1 1 2 2. 1 2 1 2. 1 1 2 2 3 4 1 2 3.
Jack Wing is amazing
Okay.
with the long words.
So what I want to share with you here in this part is just a little ideas for you to come up with, you know, new activities based on this one. But I would highly recommend you to use the PowerPoint slide we have. It's ready to use in the classroom. Just in case you want to create some new things with the student. So here is my ideas. You replaced the word point in the middle with another verb. And then you can come up with a lot of activities. So now you know what the ideas is. I would like you to help me replace the word point, the verb point, with other verbs so that you can come up with new activities. I've just done, I changed the word point by the word decode. Now, I would like you to share with me some other ideas you can come up with right now so that you can create new activities for the student. based on the original one in the book we have? Any new things that you can come up with? Clap and shake and already mentioned. Now you will tell me some further ideas. Jump,
Listen, jump,
right?
and
Listen,
say.
jump, and say. So, Chris, can you help me to read the command?
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, pick up and say, dance.
Dance and say.
Smile.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Smile and say.
Well,
yeah.
it can be like either a movement activities or speaking activities in this
Yeah.
activities. Okay, listen, clap.
Backwriting.
Backwriting.
That's a
all
great
right.
one. Yeah.
Ask student to write words to remember words. Okay, that's a good way. Spell backward. Okay, spell backward. ROR.
Yeah, I really want them to explain that. What ROR stand for?
Can you tell me more details? What does it mean? ORR. What does it stand for? No voice.
I know. I muted because I don't want to have.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. There's a comment like ROR. Can you tell me more detail? What does it mean ROR and what does it stand for? Mexican flashcard. Okay. Like, does it mean like the Mexican word or something? No voice. Give student number. Teacher says the word and the student stand up or stand together if they have the same numbers. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Lip readings. Okay.
Thank you. So now you have the ideas already, how you can come up with new teaching activities. Let me share with you some of my ideas here. But there's one thing you should keep in mind when you design a teaching activities in class. You have to consider 4 things. Number 1, whether the activities is useful or not. Sometimes you design the activities, but it's not useful for the student. Number 2, is it applicable or not? So, for example, you may come up with a new teaching activities, but it's not applicable in the classroom. You cannot apply that. Now, for example, I will take Michael's ideas as example. You will ask us to listen, dance, and say. So, let's consider, is it useful? Yeah. Students have so many chances to listen to the word and then say the word. Dance in a classroom. So, if you have an English classroom with 40 students, yeah, it's undoable. But if you have 20 students in the classroom, you have more space for them. Yeah, listen then and say. It's good. So you have to consider that when you come up with new teaching ideas. Number 1, is it useful or not? Number two, is it applicable or not? Number 3, is it interesting or not? And number 4, is it educational or not? So if you have 4 yeses, feel free to go to Hollywood. You come to the final round of the American Got Talent. Right? But you have 3 yeses, okay, you feel free to go. If you have 2 yeses, please consider the activities again, redesign that until you have 3 yeses in minimum or 4 yeses, and then you're free to go with the new activities. Let me share with you some other ideas. Well, based on this one, you can change them to do and say. Listen, do, and say. The student will do the gestures for the subject and say the word. Or listen, create, and play. Now I move to a higher level of learning, of thinker for my student. They will create. For example, I will ask them to create a book, a science book. I will ask them to create a history book. And now you know that my activities has already turned into project-based learning. So I ask my students to work in group, come back home, they will create a science book with some information inside, and then they will play with their friends, or they come to class in another day, they present their creation. So I'll take my student from lower level of thinker to higher level of thinker. From simple activities to higher level of activities. It turned into a project already. Right? So I changed the word create into point into create, say into play, and listen into imagine. Or imagine, create, and share. Right? Or imagine, research, and share. You know, now, even young learners, they are really familiar with technologies, with Google, ChatGPTs, and YouTube, and so many things. They're even better than us. They're even better than the adult. To be honest with you, my daughter is better than me in terms of technologies. She used technology to study, to do her homework, to do research, so many things, to make videos. She even better than me. So you can take the student up to this level. Imagine that you are create some school subject. You will make some book. Now you research, you internet or Google, you research that, and then next day you come to the class, you share with your friends, you share in the group, you share in the class, and even to the school. And you see that you turn a very simple activities right here, only on the purposes presenting vocabulary to the student, listen, point, and say to present vocabulary. But now if you think and you change the verb a little bit, and then you come up, you take your student to higher level of thinker, and then you take the activities from simple one to more challenging one, is already turned to a project-based learning. You can help students make a project with this one, right? And that's the first type of lesson we have in this book. Lesson 1, 2, and 3 have the same consistent format that I have already presented to you. And the PowerPoint slides are also ready for you to use. Now we move to the second type of the lesson, lesson 4, where we have a reading activities right here. So you can also see the PowerPoint slide we prepare for you here is ready. Yeah, I really amazed with the PowerPoint slide here. So they have a warm-up activities to review lesson 1, 2, 3 before they move to lesson 4. And then after that, after the reviewing, there's so many games for you to choose. They present new words in another way. And then they come to new lesson, the reading activities, the speaking activities with the story here. And then the reading activities they have here. See that? Okay. And even for the reading, they also design the activities for you to use in the class and interact with your student. It's ready to use. Even the reading, they have lead in, and then they have while reading, pre-reading, while reading, post-reading. Yeah, everything is ready for teacher to use in the class. Right. Please allow me to play this game with you before we end up today's seminar. Before we finish today's seminar, let's play this game with me. Which one is on the stage? What is it? Remember, this is not the subject you have studied earlier. This is the vocabulary in lesson 2 and lesson 3. So you have to think. Basketball court, soccer field. Okay. Chris, can you help me tell me which one have the right answer? Okay.
Okay.
The answer is
soccer field
pitch.
Is it from from the British one? I thought like American, they use the soccer and footballs from British.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a football pitch.
So tell me who has the right answer.
We get one answer from soccer field from Kim Huỳnh Đỗ, and then we get Michael.
I think I have one right answer.
Michael
up here.
Football pitch.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Football
Next
pitch.
one.
Soccer field. Stadium.
Next one.
Okay.
What is it?
Ooh, what does it look like? It looks like a room with a lot of computers, desktop computer. It's a computer lab. Okay. That is computer lab, and the fastest answer is from Neely.
Okay. You help me to congratulate the person who has the right and the first
well,
right
let's
answer.
congratulate Mr. Neely joining
Next one.
classroom number 3. Okay. Tennis court. That's right. It is a tennis court.
Next
Badminton.
one.
Tennis court. Okay. Cafeteria. Cafeteria. Classroom. Tennis court. Canteen. For another word for British. Cafeteria is in American. And this is basketball court. Basketball court. Michael. A lot of basketball court answer. Sport hall. Sport, okay. Stage, theater, cinema, assembly hall. Okay. Function hall, theater, Flappy
Okay,
Bird.
now we move to another games we have here. Flappy Bird.
Football pitch.
You choose the word
The tennis
for the
court.
sentence, complete the sentence.
The football pitch.
The football beach. Right. And then the bird will fly, right? Next one. We have school event, right? Good.
At assembly hall.
Now let's choose the wrong answer, please. For the next question, choose the wrong answer to see where the birds go. Choose the wrong
We
answer.
have lunch at the.
Okay, you see where the birds go. No, thank you. Now, can you tell me, when you experience the slide with me, do you think is it useful? Is it interesting with the animation and things like that? Everything here,
Yes.
is the PowerPoint slide useful
Yes.
and interesting for kids?
Fun and educational, great useful for student, engaging,
Okay.
productive and
Now,
fun.
my question gonna be, after we demonstrate the slide with you. So please answer my question. Is it interesting? Is it useful? Is it applicable? And is it educational? So if you have 2 yes, you write 2 yes. You have 3 yeses, you write 3 yeses. If you have 4 yeses, you write 4 yeses. If you have 1, you write 1 yes. So my question again, do you think the slide is useful, interesting, applicable, and educational?
Hey, we have all 4
A
yeses.
lot of 4 yeses, right?
Right.
A lot of 4 yeses.
Everybody agrees.
Thank you.
Useful, applicable.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of our webinar today. I wish I can share with you more, but because of the time, so I think we have to stop here today. Once again, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for your time with us today. You have spent your weekend to stay with us from 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. up to now at 10:30 a.m. I guess you are tired already. You have just shown me 4 yeses for the PowerPoint slide. Now, my question is our presentation today useful, interesting, applicable, and educational? So now you give command for us, for me and Chris. Are our presentations useful, applicable, interesting, and educational? So if you think our presentation is good, 4 yeses, so please give me 4 yeses, or 2 yeses, or 3 yeses.
Okay.
For yeses for us, right?
Everybody loves us. Everyone loves us. That's great.
Okay, so thank you very much. This is end of my presentation today, and yeah, thank you is not enough, but I don't know what else to say. I have to say thank you to all of you. So now I will leave the webinar to Chris, and we have a Q&A, right? What will be next? So Chris will lead the presentation.
Right. So right now we have a session on Q&A. So if you have any things that you want to ask Mr. Francis regarding our presentation today, so feel free to leave your question so that we can check it, and then we can answer each of this. We shared.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Thin Phuc. The lesson is so great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Xuân Lê. Can we have the recording? Of course, we will share with you the recording.
Sure.
Yeah. I have one question. Can you send the PPP slide for free? Of course. Yeah, I will share with you the PowerPoint later on. Where's the feedback form being sent again?
So I believe there's a QR code on the screen. So if you can help us to scan the QR code and complete the feedback so that we can send the electronic certificate to each of you together with the sample materials by the end of this webinar. And that will leave us room for our improvement in the upcoming event. So thank you, and please help us to scan the QR code and complete the feedback form.
I have one question from Seth Sang. Can we start to use this book without extra subject like science or grammar? Of course, it's up to you. We prepare a lot of material for you, but the selection of the choices is yours. You can choose any you want. If you want to use only the student book and the workbook only, it's okay. But if you want to choose, other components, you feel free to go.
For later purchase, how to contact you? Okay, thank you, Lang No. Our organizer will be in touch with you shortly to help you purchase the product. Do you have a YouTube link of this webinar? I have some colleagues who might find your presentation very useful, and they are unable to join today because of some commitment. Okay, sure. I mean, yes, there'll be the YouTube link as well on Facebook that will give you access to our online webinar so that can share it to you.
So, Chris, let me close up this one. I'll share with you one of my favorite movie that I have watched earlier, Bruce Almighty. It's one of the scenes of that movie say, yes to all. Because he received so many prayers from people around the world when he became God.
Right.
And then he's too busy to answer all of them. So in the early morning when he get up, he say, yes to all. And then all the wishes will be answered with a yes. So I want to make it here. Most of your questions, our answer will be yes to most of your concern here, all the question that you are making here. So we have yes to all. If you want a PowerPoint slide after this one, if you want us to contact with you, the video or the audios of this one, so we yes to all. We'll send it to you later on.
Okay, please remember to scan the QR code and complete the feedback with the information of your email so that we can send the electronic certificate to each of you promptly. Okay, so that brings us to the close of our online webinar today, Teaching English to Young Learners Using Exam Online Materials. And thank you so much for your participation. So on behalf of the organizing team, thank you so much for your engagement, participation. We hope that you found this session informative and inspiring. Once again, thank you for joining us today. Thank Ms. Suphapon Phongsavan, the Managing Director of Education Solution Laos. Thank you, Dr. Tania Maxine Hodge, Academic Director, DTP Education Solution in Cambodia. Thank you, Mr. Phang Van Riew, Total Solution Director, Education, DTP Education Solution, Vietnam. And last but not least, Mr. Frank Sistrang, the Training Manager at DTP Education Training Solution today. And we wish you all continued success in your teaching journey. And we hope to see everybody in our next coming webinar. Bye for now. Have a lovely weekend.